The United States men's national team earned a 0-0 draw with Colombia in the second of 2 January friendlies for the home side, as both teams fielded relatively inexperienced sides. Colombia had the edge in shots 12-5, but shots on goal were 2-1 in favor of the home side. And it was the US that had the better chances with Paxten Aaronson, in his USMNT debut, going close in the first half. Sean Johnson was the slightly busier of the two keepers, but overall had little to do on the night. 1. US earns draw in a very un-January friendlies that cap off the January camp are often tepid affairs. The US players are in preseason mode, and the lack of sharpness outweighs most of the positives. There is also the relative lack of experience on show. While the US featured World Cup participants Walker Zimmerman, Kellyn Acosta, Jesus Ferreira and Aaron Long, as well as veteran Paul Arriola, some of the other players were making their initial forays at the international level. That went for Colombia as well. Aside from left-back Frank Fabra, no Colombian starter had more than 3 caps. But this encounter had some spice to it, helped in no small part by the heavily pro-Colombia crowd. There was plenty of end-to-end play and some clear looks at goal in the opening half, including a deflected effort from Paxten Aaronson in the 14th minute that grazed the post. LAFC's Christian Arango had some clear opportunities as well, but failed to get a shot on target. Such was the chaotic nature of the game that the performers on show seemed to alternate good plays with poor ones, often in the same sequence. Matthew Hoppe was a case in point. The Middlesbrough winger was indefatigable in terms of his defensive pressure, and consistently put himself in good positions with his runs off the ball. But his decision-making on the ball looked rusty, a product of the lack of playing time with his club. There was some physical play as well, with a trio of first-half yellow cards dished out by referee Ced Martinez, all to Colombia. 2 were the result of attacking runs by Arriola that forced the Cafeteros into fouls near the box. The frenetic pace cooled a bit in the second half, with interim manager Anthony Hudson feeling confident enough to finish out the match with 2 young center-backs in Jalen Neal and Sam Rogers. Substitute Brandon Vasquez nearly got on the end of a Kellyn Acosta free kick late, but couldn't connect, leaving both teams to settle for a draw. Stream on ESPN+, La Liga, Bundesliga and more. US 2. Another Aaronson makes a positive impression. Interim manager Anthony Hudson had said he would heavily rotate his squad from the team that fell 2-1 to Serbia, and he was true to his word, making 10 changes to the lineup that started against Serbia, with Zimmerman the only holdover. That meant another pair of international debuts, this time for Paxten Aaronson, brother of Leeds United and US international midfielder Brenden Aaronson, and New York Red Bulls defender John Tolkin. Aaronson, who signed with Eintracht Frankfurt from the Philadelphia Union in November, was up for the challenge and showed off many of the same qualities as his older brother. He was an absolute pest on defense, was active in seeking out the ball and showed off some lightning-quick feet. He nearly got onto the scoresheet in the 14th minute when his deflected effort grazed the post. His performance wasn't completely free of struggle. One area where Aaronson needs to improve is simply to sense danger with his back to his opponent. He was dispossessed 4 times in the first half, a problem that can be solved by simply playing quicker. Fellow debutant Tolkin struggled with some physical battles as well, but adapted as the game went on. The quality of his left foot isn't in question. But games like this are about the future.